Hey guys, so today's video is going to be completely different from the other videos that I've made in the past, and I'm curious to see how this type of video is received compared to my other videos. And so when I first started Across the Mountains, there were a couple really big topics that I wanted to research and explore and share with you all. While I was in college, I learned of a study that was done, and when I read the study, it has intrigued me for all these years. And that study was a study done on why Hmong girls graduate at such a higher rate than Hmong boys. And so today I'm going to share with you all that study and kind of the development of that study to explore why Hmong girls are graduating at such a higher rate than Hmong boys.
Really common. Hmong girls are here fitting better. The girls go to college and the boys go to jail.
Okay, I'm going to have to use my laptop as a reference because there's just so many data points to talk about. So for this video, I'm going to be researching some data that was compiled by numerous academic studies within the last 2 decades, as well as data compiled by the US Census Bureau. So the first data that I'm going to show you guys is from a study done by David Lowe and Jer Lohr titled "The Higher Education Attainment Disparity Between Hmong Female and Male Students at Sac State in the Last 17 Years." Boy, that's a mouthful. So David and Jer found that in the year 2000, the graduation rate of Hmong males was about 16.5%, whereas the Hmong female graduation rate was only at 7%. However, in just 10 years, the Hmong male graduation rate actually dropped to about 14%, while the female graduation rate jumped to 15%, essentially double. Now fast forward to 2015 and you'll see that Hmong females have actually jumped up to 21%, while Hmong males only rose to 18%. Keep in mind I'm gonna round these numbers just to make it a little bit easier. But after the last US Census Bureau was done in 2020, it has shown that Hmong women are now up to 28%, while Hmong men have only increased to 21%. So there's a lot to unpack there. It's difficult to pinpoint exactly why male graduation rates are so much lower than female graduation rates. However, a study done in 2017 by Bao Lo of California State University found that while surveying high school Hmong boys and high school Hmong girls, 55% of the boys said college aspirations were very important, but when compared to girls, 89% responded that college aspirations were very important. So even before Hmong boys are entering into college, the majority of them don't really care about college. To them, college isn't a really big deal. But let's take a step back and look at the Hmong community as a whole. Only 17% of our population has a bachelor's degree or higher, placing us at the bottom of the list amongst other Asian Pacific Islander groups. Not only that, but we know poverty rates directly affect a person's academic success, and 20% of the Hmong population still live in poverty, well above the national average of 11%. But that's a topic for a totally different video, and we don't have time to tackle that issue today. Okay, so back to the topic at hand. While I was doing research on this topic, there were many speaking points that were always brought up. Intergenerational conflict, poverty, cultural identity issues, racism. However, there was always one speaking point that really stuck to me, and that is the evolution of gender roles. But before we can even talk about gender roles, we got to understand what traditional Hmong gender roles are. And so to do that, I'm actually going to use a little bit of help from Hmong movies. I know. Just take a look.
Cho mi tung pon chu mong to si cho ko pu ha cho mi yan chai i pla chu sha trong pon jai mo ta te la
e ya lin dai chân chai lo chicken dai wa le jeng
pe mong fen chong chan chai po ya chicken da po ya nya wa nya che pa na chi o tie nu.
So I hope that gave you a glimpse into what traditional gender roles look like for Hmong culture. Hmong culture, similarly to other Asian cultures, is biased towards males. And so privileges like education traditionally were reserved for men. A perfect example of this is a paper by Mr. Walker that he did in 1983. He did a research on the Ban Vinai refugee camp and documented that there was over 6,000 male students, whereas there was only 100 female students. But fast forward to 2023, and Hmong females are now graduating at a higher rate. They graduate with higher GPAs on average. They graduate with higher academic achievements, with more extracurricular activities, and continue on to earn their masters and doctors at a higher rate than Hmong men. So since coming to America, Hmong women have really embraced their opportunities and ran with it. And we as Hmong men shouldn't take our privileges for granted. Education is a privilege. It's a privilege that for many, many decades, Hmong women didn't have. And so we shouldn't take it for granted. I guess it's time to end the video now, and I'm gonna leave you with a quote that I truly believe embodies the message of this video. Hmong women believe that through education, they will be able to achieve the gender equality within their families that their mother and grandmothers did not have. Hmong women understand that Hmong culture is in the process of significant change, and they see themselves as central agents of that change. Many of them are motivated to pursue education by economic reasons, but also have the desire to become independent and self-empowered. Although sometimes confronted with the belief of the community to conform to social norms like gender hierarchy, where men occupy the top, they continue to be pioneers in pursuing gender equality. The pursuit is embraced by the belief that with more education, more opportunities, and more freedoms will ensue.